new Bing Crosby movie, and there were 5 ushers. There were 5 aisles. Each usher had his own aisle, and I had one of the aisles. And we were all hoping Mrs. Roosevelt would come down our aisle. Could you imagine leading the president's wife to the seat? Sure enough, she came down my aisle. And I tried to be so good. I had my shoulders back, I stood straight, I looked straight ahead. This way, I said, Mrs. President. I didn't know what I said, this way, Mrs. President. And I'm walking with my flashlight and my head high, and some rotten guy had his leg in the aisle, and I tripped and fell right on my face. The next thing I know, Mrs. President is helping me to my feet. Are you all right, young man? Oh, it was the most embarrassing one. If ever you want my most embarrassing
That's
moment,
the one?
that was it.
What do you say to Mrs. President when you fall and
I
she
said, thank you for helping me to my feet, Mrs. President. I don't know what the hell I said.
So that's an interesting question. That was the perfect natural segue. How many presidents have you met, and who's the most memorable?
Let's see, I met President Reagan. I'll tell you a funny thing about President Reagan. I was sitting across a table. He was sitting where you are.
Well,
Here's a table, and I'm sitting at dinner. And for some reason, I was a guest at the time President Reagan was. So you're the president of me.
Okay.
Now you're sitting facing the President of the United States. What do you say to him? I couldn't think of anything to say. Finally, I said, oh no, I know. He had been president. He was now president no longer. This was a dinner date for the ex-president, Ronald Reagan. So I said, gosh, Mr. President, you must be so relieved that you're not the president anymore. You don't have all the world's problems on your shoulders. You can relax. And I'll never forget his answer. He looked at me with his eyes wide. He said, no, I love being president. He said it just like that. I love being president. I'll never forget.
Then you would have been like, oh, well, bummer, that's not going on anymore then. Pass the salt.
Then I had a thing with President Bush. And he was giving an award to, who was that girl who always played with Errol Flynn? She always co-starred with him. Well, I don't remember her. 3 names. I don't remember her name. But anyway, he was giving a showbiz awards to certain people. I was getting one, and that woman was getting one. She was now an old woman. So anyway, he gave her her award first. He put a thing around her neck, and he gave her a kiss on the cheek. Then it was my turn. So I walked over to him, and he put the thing around my neck for the plaque. And I don't know what made me say it, but I said, I hope you're not going to kiss me too. And he started laughing, and I started laughing, and some photographer took a picture of us. And I have it in my office, back wherever the hell my office is. The 2 of us standing there laughing, and if anybody had seen the picture, they'd think we were like old friends. But it was only a 1-minute thing. I said, I'm not gonna have to kiss you too.
So
anyway, that
you
was
guys had to make out. Did you have any interaction with Frederick Wortham? And Frederick Wortham was the psychiatrist who came up with the seduction of the innocent in the 1950s, who said comics are bad. It was what led to the creation of the Comics Code. Yeah, that led to the Comics Code Authority. What was that period of time like, and what was going on in comics? And was this guy just a fearmonger? Like, what was the situation?
Well, this guy Wortham was a psychiatrist, and he decided comics were no good for kids. And he got a lot of publicity by doing interviews with newspapers and radio shows, telling parents that their kids shouldn't read comic books. And I was heartbroken because, believe it or not, that man had written a book years before about a young boy who had murdered his mother. A young boy, there was something wrong with him. Somehow or other, I read that book as a kid. And it was a beautifully written book, a real detailed case study of what caused the boy to go crazy that way. And now to find out that the man who wrote that book, which was beautifully written and interesting, was on a crusade against comics. I couldn't believe it. But he turned into a real nutcase, and he bothered the publishers for a year or so, and then he drifted away, and I don't know what became of him, but comics are bigger and better than ever, so that shows what he...
Yeah. Just so you know, he died in 1981, so you win. You win. What's the story behind the trademark aviators and the mustache? You have a very signature aesthetic. So where did the aviators and the mustache, like this look, the Stan Lee...
Only he would say, you have a special look with glasses.
You do, yes.
People who wear glasses wear them so they can see better.
But yours are very specific.
Not a special look.
You could wear any type of glasses, but the aviators and the mustache.
These aren't aviators, look, they're regular glasses. Who set this man up to torment me?
Well, that's it.
Who arranged this interview?
This just ruined our friendship.
The mustache, when I was younger, I wanted to look like Errol Flynn. And so I grew a beard. He was in a movie where he wore a little beard. My wife hated it, so I shaved the beard off. But I didn't want to lose all of Errol Flynn, so I left a little mustache. I thought maybe she wouldn't notice. She noticed, but she said I could keep the mustache. So this is my Errol Flynn mustache. These are my ordinary glasses.
All right, well, we'll have to agree to disagree on this point.
Hey, how come you're wearing a gray sweatshirt?
Because I don't want to dazzle everyone with my throbbing pectoral muscles.
That shirt is very...
Oh, okay, thank you.
That's a dazzling shirt.
It's a very dazzling gray
And
shirt.
those sneakers, they're two-toned. They're white on the bottom and black there.
I never noticed that before.
What made you get two-tone sneakers? I'll show you.
Oh my God, it doesn't feel good to be interrogated in such a way. What was the most memorable piece of fan mail you've ever received?
Can't remember.
All right.
I've got so many.
What types of things do people normally send you? They send you drawings. What type of things do people normally send you when they send you fan mail? Do they send you drawings?
I usually get bills. People write notes sometimes, very nice. Sometimes a rotten note, like everything else.
Are you good with that, by the way? If someone is negative, are you able to brush it off?
No, I can't sleep that night.
Oh, no.
Nobody better be negative with me, buddy.
Okay, good. Did you ever meet Errol Flynn?
I never met Errol Flynn, and I wish you hadn't reminded me.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's the one sore spot in my life. I want to tell you, when I was a kid, when I was like 13 years old, I was so impressed with Errol Flynn. I'd come out of the theater having seen one of his movies, and I was 13, and I'd be looking around for a little girl that some bully was picking on, so I could run to her defense. I just wanted to be Errol Flynn. I didn't find out till later that in real life he wasn't that great a guy, but the roles he played...
Was he not that great of a guy?
He wasn't that great.
That sucks.
But he sure looked good.
He looked good on film. He totally looked good on film.
Wait a minute, how many questions do you have?
Just 300 or
These
400
people might
of the
have-
best
They might
questions.
have something important to do.
They're doing it. This is it. They're here to see you.